Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so excited you're here to learn about this amazing technology that is truly changing people's lives. We just get stories every single week of the things that people are experiencing with this technology. And so it's a true joy for us to share it with you tonight. I'm Nikki McCutchen. So glad you're here. I'll be your host for this evening. Our call will be about for 30 minutes. And we always start with our medical disclaimer. All LifeLay products are not intended to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any dis-ease. If you are pregnant or nursing or on any medications, please make sure to check with your physician or preferred healthcare practitioner first. And with that, we are going to start talking about this amazing little technology. Oh, and before I always forget, we just started this new thing. So any of you that are new, Vicki, if you will get the wheel of names ready. I know Kylie, this is her first call for her to be on tonight. So if you will put Kylie's name on the wheel of names. If any of the rest of you have not started using the technology yet, put your name. So iPhone user, that might be you. I don't know who you are, but feel free to put your name in the chat. So Vicki can do the wheel of names if that's you. Otherwise, Kylie, you're going to win. So if the iPhone user also do, then you're going to win five free days of the X39 patch that we're talking about tonight. So super exciting. We'll ask again at the end before we start the wheel of names, but someone will win who has not started using the technology yet. And so make sure you get your name in the chat if you're brand new and haven't started using the technology yet. We want to make sure that you are able to potentially win 5 days free of our amazing stem cell activation technology. So this is what we're talking about. This tiny little patch, truly amazing, completely non-transdermal. So nothing transfers from this patch into your body. It's completely sealed with medical grade plastic. It's a class 1 medical device, hypoallergenic, adhesive. Our company is recognized and the technology is recognized through the FDA as a general wellness product. So, like I said, class 1 medical device, it is made up of organic amino acids, salts, and sugars in a crystal lattice structure. So that little tiny white patch in there is actually, it feels like cloth, but it is at the stereoisomer level, it's a crystal lattice structure, which is actually a scientific term that is reflective. So there's little tiny crystals in there that are reflective at a very specific frequency. So they reflect back like a mirror into your body at a very specific frequency. And I'm going to explain that here in a minute as well. But also just wanted to let you know that this technology has a 96% effectiveness rate. There is nothing else on the market today that is crazy for an effectiveness rate to get to have that many people across the board that either definitely feel something with the technology, or a lot of times if they don't feel anything, this shows up in the test results. So in the blood results, in thermographic imaging, things like that. So even if you don't feel it, know that it's always working. It truly is a phenomenal, life-changing product. It's patented. We have over 200 patents now. There's over 90 clinical studies. It's hard to match everything that we have going on with this technology, all of the studies that we're doing, all of the patents that we're continuing to get in the area of regenerative medicine. And so it's truly just absolutely phenomenal. There is no other product in the world that does what this technology does. The only thing that it even remotely comes close to is a stem cell injection, which, as you probably know, they are not guaranteed by any means. They're not always effective, even though there's lots of people that have wonderful, results with them. They're not always effective. So you could pay thousands and thousands of dollars and have no results whatsoever. Or you could even have, maybe I talked to somebody the other day who it literally lasted for 3 months and wore off after that. And they spent $15,000. So this technology is always working to optimize your body's availability of utilizing the stem cells that are there and getting them up and going again. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about how stem cells work in the body as well here in a minute. But we have a super exciting announcement before I kind of dive in and tell you the details of the technology and how this little tiny patch works. Today, we just launched our Cellergize morning for formula. This is not something that by any means is required to use with our technology, but what makes me so excited about it is that I already took electrolytes. If you are an athlete, then you probably know about electrolytes and the need for the replacement of that magnesium and potassium in your body is sodium. As you sweat, the need to replace those with a very high quality source. Instead of me giving you a recommendation now on all of the high quality, electrolytes that you could use, we now have our own that's specifically designed for optimizing the use of our patches, which is what's so cool. It's designed with that in mind to coordinate and work together with that. As well as a lot of times athletes will take amino acids. So that's very normal, especially if you lift weights, to take amino acids. So again, this would be something that you don't necessarily need to go out and buy a new source, or if you're someone who just have never gotten on the amino acid bandwagon, but you do work out, now you don't have to figure it out. Everything is all in one. It's all in one place to take your electrolytes, amino acids. The other thing is that this has something in it called xanthos, which is a I probably should read it because it's in my head. Sea buckthorn fruit extract. I probably should have practiced saying that before I got on here. But anyway, that actually optimizes your body's availability to utilize stem cells in the body. So because we now have this powder form and it's something that we're ingesting, we can then tell you that it's going to optimize your stem cells, which then also helps for our patches turning on a very specific peptide called GHK copper peptide that will also turn on stem cells that are no longer working optimally. So, like I said, it's not that you have to use this in order for the patch technology to work, but if you're already using electrolytes, amino acids, it's all in one. And so it's truly fantastic. That just launched today. So definitely if that is you and you're out of your other electrolytes and it's time to get some new ones, then that's a great ad for your order as well. But let's go back to the technology and the science behind this tiny little patch. So it works through a process called photobiomodulation. That is just a big word for light making change in the body. So when you go out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. That's how photobiomodulation works. That vitamin D then goes and does everything that it's supposed to go and do in the body. That's just how it's designed to work. And so what this does is it works through that same process, only we are the light source. We are the heat source. So you don't have to have the sun. You just place this patch on your body, or it can go in your pocket because it's non-transdermal. There's nothing transferring from the patch entering your body. It can just even go on your shirt. So now this patch is automatically activated and starting to work because it is close to my body. And it's all working through infrared light. So how, again, that may sound crazy, but it is the same thing as when you hear military talk or you see on a movie and they're talking about night vision goggles and they're seeing something that they're calling a heat signature. That is scientifically a low-grade infrared light that all of us emit that comes out of our body everywhere. That infrared light is then reflected like a mirror from the center of that patch back into our body, turning on what's called GHK copper peptide. So you can wear the patch anywhere on the body that you want to wear it. There are clinically tested spots, but because the company has been around for over 20 years, we know that you can place it anywhere you want to on the body, and it's going to turn on that frequency and turn on GHK copper peptide. So what does GHK copper peptide do in the body? So one of the things it does, which I already mentioned, was turn on stem cells. So activate stem cells that are no longer working optimally in the body. What happens as we age is that our stem cells just begin to not work as well anymore. By the time we're 30, half of our stem cells are no longer working optimally. By the time we are 60, only 10% of our stem cells are working optimally in the body anymore. So when you place this patch on your body, it begins to turn on GHK copper peptide that then begins to tell those stem cells to start working optimally again, resetting 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. So even think about that for a second. Like any type of gene mutations that you have in your body. I don't know if it will be a gene mutation that you have in your body, but it's possible that something will never get turned on for you because that gene will be held at a younger, healthier state, even if that would be a normal issue in your DNA, which is pretty amazing that there is a technology that can do something like that in your body, holding you at that younger, healthier state or resetting you to a younger, healthier state. So these stem cells are pluripotent, meaning that they can go anywhere and become anything that your body needs. So if you have a heart issue, a brain issue, a liver issue, an inflammation issue, a blood issue, whatever it might be, mitochondrial issue, this is it. Your body does all the healing. This is how we are designed by our amazing creator to heal and regenerate. That is what he's given us. He's given us everything we need for life, and that's already built into our body. So when we activate that peptide that the Lord already gave us, then it gets turned on and goes and does everything that it was designed to do in the body. And your body ultimately decides. So let's say you have something going on with your shoulder and you want it to affect that, but you don't realize you have something going on inside your lungs that is definitely more imperative for life. So it might take the shoulder issue a while to get regenerated because you have something else your body is going to deem more important to regenerate first. And so that's kind of the body's going to allow you to maintain life before something going on with a limb, before it gets there. So it's truly remarkable how stem cells work in the body. So that's one major body system that this GHK copper peptide turns on. But this is the cool thing. This is why there's nothing else in the world that does what GHK copper peptide does. It truly is the fountain of youth in our body. So when we turn that back on, you're getting the regeneration of those stem cells, but it also supports your entire cardiovascular system. So at the mitochondrial level, your cardiovascular system is now being supported. So support for your heart, the lining of your blood vessels, the blood vessels. I see people all the time. It's very common to have blood pressure issues that now get back into balance. And so that is a very common issue. Here lately, it's really been amazing. I've been doing this now for 2 years. And the people that have been doing this with me for a while, I am seeing amazing results in their heart, reversal in different types of heart conditions, PVCs completely going away. Like I said, blood pressure is becoming into balance, no matter where it is on the scale. Like your body is looking for homeostasis, and that's what it's trying to do all the time, is to bring you into homeostasis. So very, very great support for cardiovascular system. So third major body system, your brain. So your brain, the test results show at about 6 weeks that our brains begin to balance, inflammation begins to reduce, anxiety, depression begin to lift, brain cognitivity begins to clearer thinking, better memory, remembering things. That was totally true for me. All of my brain fog left. All of the questions that I would ask my kids after asking 5 minutes ago and not remembering what they said and asking them again, that is all completely gone. I can have conversations without re-asking a question. I remember conversations that I had 3 months ago. So that was very normal for me when I was younger, but I noticed that just not being as sharp and having some things there that we kind of try to push off and think, oh, I'm just getting older, I'm just going to let it go. Here's the thing. We don't have to. You don't have to just sacrifice that any longer. You can put on a tiny little patch and have all kinds of amazing things happen in your body. So I am so thankful that that brain clarity and no more fog really has lifted for me. Truly, truly thankful for that. So that was 3, 4. The fourth major system that I talk to people about is collagen. So most people think collagen is just hair, skin, and nails. You have 28 different types of collagen in your body. Those all get supported when you turn on GHK copper peptide. So help in your ligaments, in your tendons, in your cartilage, across the body. Collagen is what is the glue that holds our body together. So to have the support between the collagen and the stem cell activation, collagen. So the interesting thing is that collagen and stem cells decline at about the same rate as when we age. So when you put those two back together to be supported, hence the fountain of youth. You truly see it on the outside, you feel it on the inside. It is truly remarkable. The sixth one, or the fifth one, sorry, the fifth one, if I could count tonight, the fifth one is your immune system. All of us want to have a better immune system. We are constantly exposed to toxins and all kinds of things in our water, in our air, in the food that we eat. And so that we want our immune system to be as strong and as balanced as it possibly can be to handle whatever we are being, whatever's coming our way. So I will usually see people that normally have an issue with allergies or sickness like a certain time every year, that once they hit that time the following year of being on this technology for several months, they don't have that issue the following year. It's really, truly amazing. And so just to have that, or they'll, be around sick people and they would normally always get sick and now they don't. So I rarely have any kind of issues. If there's any sniffles or anything, I will wear our anti-inflammation patches at night on my chest, on my throat, whatever it might be. And nothing just really ever shows up. If I feel like something's going on, I just put on a few extra patches and sleep with those. And then everything seems to be fantastic. So truly, truly phenomenal. So how do you want to think about utilizing this technology? So I would say, think about your list of things, like whatever your list. So if you're on medications, you have a list. If you have issues in your health, whatever that list is, if you have a list of things, I'm going to tell you, you want to stick with this technology for 6 to 12 months. Okay. That 6 to 12 months is going to give you the opportunity to go back into the doctor, have blood work run, had different tests run that you may have run most every year to see what kind of changes and results that you're getting that you may not necessarily feel. Hopefully you're going to feel something. We have a lot of people that feel things very, very quickly, but there are a lot of people who don't. My husband is one of those. He absolutely feels nothing. The only way that we know the technology is working for him is through his test results. He doesn't have pain. So a lot of times people with pain are going to notice something with this technology right away. So, and just to kind of give you an idea of what's possible with this technology like I said, I've been using it for a little over 2 years. About a month ago, so I had noticed about 6 months ago, my thyroid showing some, just some inflammation, some signs of distress. But of course I had been using the technology, but it's going to work where your body needs it to. But it was showing that it was actually helping. It was supporting my thyroid. And so just stayed on it, obviously kept utilizing the patches. About a month ago, went back in for those tests again. My thyroid is now showing complete regeneration. So I don't know what else you can find that will do that in your body to where you have this little issue that's kind of cropped up, and you're kind of watching it, your doctors are watching it. But then all of a sudden, it just is fine and completely regenerated and there's nothing going on there. So I don't know about you, but that makes me decide I won't ever stop wearing the x39 patch in particular. I do wear all the patches, but for sure the x39, because that's the one that turns on the fountain of youth and all that kind of regeneration. So hydration is key. We do have an amazing water technology that should be launching next month. So we're having all of these exciting things with our Cellergize morning that just launched today to support and optimize the patches and give you everything that you need for electrolytes, amino acids, if you haven't already started using those, if you work out. And then, of course, our water technology, because clean water is so important. Having the right hydration with no toxins in it is so important. So definitely find out more about our light infused water and how that works and the science behind it, because once again, this company will continue to be ahead of its time and ahead of its field. We have 7 years worth of technologies coming out that in the next 7 years that will continue to keep this company ahead of the curve in the regenerative Sciences division. And so you're definitely in the right place. So I would love to answer any questions you have. If anybody has a story of what's gone on with them with the technology, we would love to hear that as well. But I'm here for questions. So you can type them in the chat, you can raise your hand, you can unmute. So whatever we need to do to get you guys some of your questions answered, or feel free to come on and share a story with us. Oh, yes. Thank you. We do have an educational website. So our educational website is patchtheway.com, Patch, patchtheway.com. So tons of information. All of our clinical studies are there. Our patents are there. Even down at the bottom, you can see videos of doctors that are utilizing the technology with their patients, all kinds of testimonial videos, more explanation of how the technology works as well. So yeah, who would like to come on? Darlene or Dolores, I see both of you are unmuted. Did you all have something to share or a question to ask? Yes, Pastor Ed, please come on.
I have a question to ask. And I know that I get this asked all the time. How would you answer this? Do I have to use this, or how long do I have to use it for?
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Like I said, I just tell people if you have a list of things or a list of medications that you're on, I would say give 6 to 12 months. Chances are you're going to see things happening a long time before that. But that gives you enough time to be able to have those test results run again with your doctor, or you're going in to see the dentist again, or you're going in to see the eye doctor again. So giving it a good amount of time, just because we're talking about natural health and your body doing something naturally. So this is one of those things to where invest in your health. So you always want to think of your health as an investment. If we don't have our health, really, it makes everything in life harder. Everything in life becomes harder when you're struggling with your health. And so I would always encourage people to get started on this as young and as soon as possible, so that hopefully whatever might have been in your future will not be the case, because your stem cells will be young and active. There are no contraindications with this technology. So there's no issues with any medications. And the reason why is because it's completely non-transdermal. So if you want to go and talk to your doctor about that and ask them about that, first, what you're going to tell them is that it's non-transdermal. What that tells them is there's nothing going into the body. So there's no availability for the body to experience a contraindication, because there's no meeting or for the like, say, a supplement or something exogenously going into your body that would then touch or interact with a medication. So there's no interaction with any type of medication, because there's nothing actually going into your body. This is turning on what is already in your body so that it can work optimally, the way that it was designed to work in the body anyway. So hopefully that makes sense. Any other questions? Yes, Pastor Ed.
I'm full of questions today.
Awesome. I love it.
Well, you really as a pastor, you really touched my heart when you said that God created us this way. A lot of people don't understand that we are fearfully yet wonderfully made. God created us with all the necessary ingredients in our body to make us well. But tell us, what has happened that it doesn't work that well? What is happening in our body that we don't have the availability of those ingredients?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the aging process, I was reading a book the other day, and they were talking about how aging, they were utilizing aging in the comparison of actually aging is a disease. It's a disease that we all get, that we don't have to get if we know how to support our bodies properly. And I thought, wow, that is a really interesting thought, to think about that way. And so when we are supporting God's design and the way that He designed our bodies versus pretty much, if you're an American, everything in our society is built around what I can do, what I can put in, what I can inject, how I can do these things versus focusing on, which is what our scientist, founder, and inventor has done. How has God done this? How has God supported, or how has God designed our bodies? What has He given us in creation that would then give us information to be able to support and help the body work the way that God designed it to work? So imagine if all of our scientists, if all of our doctors, if they studied that design instead of coming up with something that man can create to then try to change the body in some way or stop some sort of symptom. And so anyway, it's just truly fascinating and remarkable and a blessing to get to be a part of something where how we are actually designed is studied and then supported, which allows for God's design to work the way that He designed it versus man getting in the way saying, I know better. So I love the fact that that's what we have in our scientist, inventor, and founder, David Schmidt. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Anyone else? Is there anyone else who is brand new tonight? So anybody that has not started using the technology, will you either let me know your name or type your name in the chat? Because we will do every Monday night, we do a wheel of names, and one person will win a 5-day supply completely free of our X39 technology that I've been talking about here. And we will send those out to you. So anybody else? Hey, I don't think there's anybody.
Can I share something?
Please.
I just want to say that I'm so thankful for this technology in every way. Each and every day, I always find something else to use it for. So today, I just want to thank the Lord because this technology has really helped my dog. So he had like a world of skin issues. He had allergies. He had immune problems. His fur was falling out. I mean, he had patches of hair just like bald on his coat. He didn't look healthy, and I mean, it's just amazing how patching a dog because he trusts me as his owner, right? I'm so thankful that I can do it because all I know is when I put the patches on him, he looks back like this because he feels something. You know what I mean? So, and that's the sign to me. Like, you want to know if it works? Patch a dog because they're truthful and they're honest. Like they're more sensitive, But I'm so thankful that we have this because he doesn't have any of those blotches anymore. His skin is so much softer. There's no breakouts. His coat is so thick that when I give him a shower, I have to use 3 different towels with a blow dryer. And before I just used one. Now I'm going to be surprised if his hair grows back in darker. But I'm thankful that, we have this because he's healthy now. So thank the Lord.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you can see hair growing back in darker on humans if you go to patchtheway.com. There's before and after pictures of hair. So definitely truly another amazing thing. Because again, that's the gene thing that I'm talking about. So if it's in your DNA to have that hair and to keep that hair will then grow back, which is a true amazing reversal that we've seen in some people. So, but yes, okay. So this is such a great example of what Vicki just said. So she's using the exact same patches. Do we have patches for pets? We do, for pain, but she's using the exact same patches that we are using, which what that again tells you is they're completely non-transdermal and truly a light therapy, peptide therapy type product, activating what's already in a dog's body, what's already in a human's body. It doesn't matter. There's no it doesn't matter how much you weigh. It doesn't matter how tall you are. If you're female, if you're male, it's turning on what's already there, supporting the design. And so that's what's so amazing is that you can also, use it on pets, and pets are getting phenomenal results as well. So, let me see. There's a couple things in the chat here. Let me read.
I have a guest on. Her name is Marcia.
Okay, awesome.
Can you ask her if she have any questions, Marcia?
It doesn't look like she's typing anything in the chat. So, and I don't actually see her name. So
I
she's
saw
one
her
of.
name. I
Okay,
saw her name
awesome.
in the chat.
She typed in the chat. She did say that she was new, and I welcomed her,
Perfect.
and I put her in the wheel of names. Anybody else?
Awesome. So Kylie, you should have Kylie and Marcia in the wheel of names. So let's do it. Let's see who's going to win our 5 days of X39.
Okay. Do you want me to show it?
No, you can just tell, or it's totally up to you.
I'm
You
just
can
going to
just
spin it, and I'll let
Okay.
you know.
Awesome. That sounds great. Vicky's got music going on in her head. You can't see her, but she's doing the music for the Wheel of Names. It's spinning for a long time.
Okay. All right. So Kylie, it landed on Kylie. Congratulations,
right.
Kylie.
Woohoo!
Yay! That's
Yay!
awesome.
Congratulations, Kylie. You go.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Yes, so I will get
winner.
those sent to you, Kylie. Yes, awesome. So thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. We will be back on Wednesday night at 7 Central Standard Time. So we actually go over all the technology as well as the business opportunity, and that calls for an hour. And then you can also join us on Thursday. This Thursday night, Vicki and I are going to do a deep dive into X39. So that is another stem cell activation technology that we have that's more specific. So that will be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. So, Tamara, do you have a question?
Yes. We just did an introduction to a friend of mine, and I believe he's about to be in there, but he just stepped into the house. So I was wondering if I might be able to spin the wheel on his behalf, and we can surprise him about what he's earned.
So we already spin the wheel, but yes, we can definitely do it if he wants to join us again next week. That would be fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, and I can stop the recording if he wants to stay on and ask any questions. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, we just talked to him about it last night and today, so he's pretty excited.
Okay.
Yeah. I gave him
Awesome.
some
Well,
time
yeah.
to look over the material.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I will stop the recording and we'll stay on. And so if he has questions and anybody else that wants to ask some additional questions or hear the conversation, you're more than welcome to stay on. But with that, we pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. God bless.